All new for the United States is the Toyota Crown. It's borderline luxurious inside. It offers all-wheel drive and 2 different hybrid powertrains. This one is the 2.5 liter. It should get decent fuel economy, but we're going to go find out how good it really is here in the real world. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and tonight we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2024 Toyota Crown. In this test, we're going to head out on the highway and do 50 miles out and 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour to get a realistic highway fuel economy number for this sedan. But before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. I really like this color. I forget the name. I think it's not Solar Octane, Flare Red or something like that, but it's looking striking, and despite the fact that this has some ridiculous 21-inch wheels on it, I think the Crown looks kind of cool. And it's not just a standard blob like a lot of new cars on the market are. So far, I've enjoyed my time with the Crown. If you do want to see some of our other videos, check the link below. We've got a breakdown on the JBL sound system. In fact, I'm going to be doing a members-only sound test on the JBL sound system here during this fuel economy test. We've got a full review as well, a little bit of an infotainment breakdown. You can find that all below. This is a limited model. I think you've got an XLE below this and then the Platinum up on top. So this is kind of middle, coming in at about $50,000. Yeah. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's highway fuel economy test, which gives this Crown, get this, 41 MPG, which, side note, I am tempted to believe, because this 2.5 liter from Toyota has given us some seriously impressive fuel economy results in other vehicles. So the fact that this is all-wheel drive, larger, kind of heavier vehicle, I still believe that 40 MPG might be possible. But anyway, that EPA test that gives us 41 only averages 48 miles per hour. And we know there are plenty of people who go out and do big miles on the highway with their vehicles, and they'd like to know what sort of numbers you can realistically expect here in the real world. So in order to test that out, we're going to head over to the gas station here. I'm going to fill it up. We're going to go out and do those 100 miles, come back, fill up at the same pump using the same 3-click fueling method, and get a result. Now, a few things to note for tonight. Outside temperature is 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Our tire pressures have been set to their door placard, 33 PSI cold, and we're going to run the climate control at 73 degrees auto. And, you know, right lane hog, I would love to get a tack shot for you. I've been trying to do better on those. I got one for the Corvette that we did earlier this week, but no tachometer here. So unless I were to put the car into sport mode briefly, do we get a tachometer then? Let's see, I still don't think we do in this car. No tachometer for you. So couldn't even do a tack shot if I tried. All right, let's hop out and fill it up. 2.163 gallons going in for our first fill. And before actually starting the engine, we've got our GPS reset, climate control set, and let's reset the vehicle's trip computers. And we are ready to begin. And we've got 3 different drive modes here in the Crown: Sport, Normal, and Eco. We're going to do this test in Eco. And take it nice and easy over to the highway. It's about 0.2 miles away, and pick up the test from there. I like that the Crown gives us a little bit of a nerdy energy flow screen here, so I can see how much juice is left in my battery by the little battery bars there. Some of the newer Toyota hybrids, I think the iForce Max systems, they don't show us that. I don't know if it has something to do with the lithium-ion battery, or if they just didn't want to program that in for the more performance-oriented hybrids or what, but I think it's cool. Now, the goal of this test isn't to hypermile. We're not trying to get the best possible fuel economy for the car, but rather a realistic figure. So in order to do that, we're going to get up to highway speed here at a reasonable pace and set our cruise control at a GPS-indicated 71 miles per hour. That should allow us to average about 70 over the whole test. Still plenty of get-up-and-go power with the 2.5 liter. Just has to sing the song of its people a little bit, but you might notice it a little more because the rest of the Crown is just so quiet. I've even got the sunroof shade open right now, and still nice and serene in here. Getting up to speed. It looks like the car's speedometer is about 2 miles per hour high. So we're gonna have to settle in. Knowing Toyota's cruise control, they almost always run about 1 mile per hour low anyway. So I think 73 is gonna be where we're probably gonna settle in, but I'll keep an eye on the GPS. Looks like we have a decently competent active lane keeping feature in here. So looks like it's going to lane trace and drive me along pretty nicely. Car without their lights on. Looks like it's an Atlas, Volkswagen Atlas. Anyway, we're going to continue on with the test out this JBL sound system, and catch up with you at the end. In the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. Thank you, Traverse, with your taillight partially out. Really appreciated that one. Coming into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the Toyota Crown Limited. Not too far off of our EPA number there. We're at 39.5 according to the vehicle's trip computer. However, I had a fuel economy test first happen for me today. I've done probably not quite thousands of these tests, but somewhere in the mid, like 200 to 300 range in my life, maybe closer to 300 or 400. And I've never had this happen. I got all the way to the very, very end to turn around, and the highway entrance was blocked by police officers because somebody had an accident. Now, I don't know who had to screw up so bad to block up the entrance at 9 o'clock at night, but I hope they're pretty hurt, because this really screwed up my test. Don't they know we've got science to do here, people? Come on! So what I did was I had to take about a 2-mile detour around to get to the next highway on-ramp. And what I tried to do is match up my fuel economy average from when I got off the highway to when I was getting back on. So we were at 39.2 when we got off the highway for the first time, and then I tried to make sure I was at 39.2 to get back on. So theoretically speaking, our numbers should still be pretty accurate, even though our average speed is low and everybody's slowing down right now because they're all nervous because the lanes get a little bit tight. Anyway, I like the Crown. I really do. I think this is probably one of the most comfortable riding sedans with 21-inch wheels that I've ever been in. And I can only imagine the 20s would be even better. What else? It's so quiet in here. The active lane keeping is pretty good. I will say, if you're somebody who likes to put your arm over the steering wheel sometimes like this, when the cruise control is set, the active lane keeping, or even right now I think, it's going to pop up behind. You can't see it because my arm's blocking, but it pops up and says you can't see the driver's face, so move that. That can be a little annoying sometimes. It's probably something you can disable. But yeah, no, it's a nice place to be. It's a good cruiser, and I think for the size of vehicle, getting this sort of fuel economy number is pretty good. So we're going to get it back to the pump, fill it up, and see what our calculated numbers are. And I think that's going to be important because I'm noticing how much lower the vehicle's trip readout is from the actual mileage traveled. So we've done 98.4 miles so far, and the trip computer's only saying at 96.3. So 2 miles off for every 100 miles. Not very good. We ended up putting in 2.581 gallons, so 101.2 miles today, divided by that 2.581. It's given us 39.2. Pretty close to the vehicle's readout, 39.7 on the vehicle. So getting that bump down to 39 MPG here for the Toyota Crown with the 2.5 liter, the Limited and the XLE. Even though that's a little bit below EPA, still not too bad considering, hybrids don't often achieve their EPA number, but that's pretty close. And for an all-wheel drive vehicle that's kind of large like this and comfortable and powerful enough, I will take that. We've got a 14.5 gallon fuel tank in here, so 14.5 times 39 miles per gallon is giving you a nice highway cruising range of 560 miles here for the base Crown. Now it is interesting that they don't have a separate fuel economy readout for these 21-inch wheels. I bet you the smaller wheels would do even better, might even squeak out to that EPA number. Now I'm really curious to get the new Camry in and do this test because the Camry was one of our most fuel efficient cars in the past. And I bet this next one will be very similar. But until then, we've got the Crown. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the Crown, check the link below. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.